Assalamu alaikum guys. Let's learn how to add, subtract the unlike fractions, okay? Unlike fractions, let's start. Suppose you have 2 over 3 and you want to add 5 over 6 into it, okay? There is 2 over 3, there is 5 over 6. So you see that these are two unlike fractions. Now, just to make you recall, if suppose it was 2 over 3 plus 1 over 3. So this is actually 2/3 plus 1/3. So that means there are 3/3, okay? So you could simply write it as 2 plus 1 over 3. So this is going to be 3 over 3. You can write it as 1 as well. So we can only add or subtract the fractions if they have the same denominators or if they are the like fractions. Now in this case, you see that this is 2/3 and this is 5/6. So we can't add them together unless we write both of them in terms of the thirds or in terms of the sixths. Okay? So here, like you will have to you will have to apply the concept of equivalent fractions to make them the fractions which have the same denominators, or to convert these unlike fractions into the like fractions, okay? So we have to see that how can we have the same denominator. If you guys know how to take the LCM, so you can see that the LCM of 3 and 6, that is going to be, what is the LCM of 3 and 6? That is going to be 6, okay? There are many methods of finding the LCM. So I'll be, though I don't like this method, okay? This is 3 1 times, this is 3 2 times, and this is 1 and this is 1. This is 2 ones, okay? So once you have all the ones over here, so your LCM, that is going to be 3 times 2, which is going to be 6. So this means that we can have a 6 as the denominator of both of these fractions, okay? So there is already a 6 over here, no problem with this. Then how can I make this 6? So I'll have to multiply both of them by 2. So that is the concept of equivalent fractions. So now these two fractions, they become 4 over 6 plus 5 over 6. Now they are like fractions, okay? This is 4/6, this is 5/6. So this is going to be altogether 9/6. And a good student always simplifies at the end. This is going to be 3 3s are, 3 2s are, and you can write this as a mixed fraction. This is 1 whole 1 over 2. Never leave your answer as a mixed fraction or a fraction which is not in its simplest form, okay? So that is how you add the unlike fractions, okay? Now let me take another example. Now suppose you have to add, by the way, like in our lower grades like 5 6 4 5 6, teachers normally confuse the students by giving them bigger numbers. We should know how to handle the fractions with the bigger denominators, but if you go through the past papers of O-level examinations, we never have to add the fractions in our paper 1 where there are bigger denominators, okay? So I'm just going to take the smaller ones, the fractions of small denominators, okay? Now suppose you have 1 over 5 and you want to add, let's say this is, there is 2 over 3, okay? We want to add these two fractions. Okay, so the LCM for 3 and 5. I'll have a separate video inshallah where I'll tell you how to find the LCM, okay? So right, I'm just assuming that you guys know how to find the LCM, okay? Okay, the LCM of 3 and 5, so that is going to be 3 and 5. So this is 3 1s are, this 5 will stay as it is, then 5 1s are, okay? So we have the 1s here, so the LCM is going to be 3 times 5. That is going to be 15. So that means 15 can be a denominator of both of these two fractions, okay? So how can I make this 15? So yeah, we know that 5 3 times, so if I multiply the denominator, I should multiply the numerator. This is 3 5 times, okay? So now these two fractions, they now become 3 over 15 and this is going to be 10 over 15. Look at this. Now this actually means these are 3/15ths and these are 10/15ths, okay? So altogether there are 13/15ths. This is 3 plus 10 over 15, that is 13/15ths. So guys, whenever you have the unlike fractions, you have to make them like fractions using the LCM, okay, and then using the concept of the equivalent fractions. So that is how you change these unlike fractions into like fractions, and then you add them together. And this is the answer to the question that students normally ask, that why don't we add up the denominators, okay? So now please remember, first of all, whenever you have to add or subtract the fractions, your fractions have to be like fractions. If they are not like fractions, you make them like fractions using the concept of the LCM and then the equivalent fractions. Okay? Thank you very much.